Good morning, students. Today we'll start with a new chapter, Chapter 8, Multinational Corporations. Now, from the name itself, you can make out the meaning of the topic. Multi. Multi means many, and national means countries. Okay. Now, multinational corporation means any company. So, a company which carries on business in many countries is known as multinational corporation. Okay. Now, a multinational company is the one which is incorporated in one country but operates in many countries. Incorporated means it will be registered in one country, okay, but it has the place of business in so many different countries, okay. Say for example, a company, Philips company, which is very famous, popular, Philips. Now, Philips company, it has the registered office in Amsterdam, okay, in Netherlands. Amsterdam in Netherlands. But it carries on business in so many other countries. So, the registered office is in Amsterdam, Netherlands, but it carries on business in so many other countries. So, that is why it is known as a multinational corporation or a multinational company. Now, the place where the company is registered, that is known as the home country. Okay, where the company is registered, in which company the company is registered, that country is known as the home country. And the other countries where it carries on its business is known as the host country. Okay, hope you understood the meaning, difference between home country and host country. Home country is a country where the company is registered, and host country is the other countries where the business is carried on. Okay, now look at the meaning. A multinational company is one which is incorporated in one country. The place where it is incorporated is known as a home country, but whose operation extends beyond the home country and which carries on the business in other countries are called as a host countries in addition to the home country. Okay. It may be emphasized that the headquarters of a multinational companies are located in the home country. So I told you, always the main office, the head office or headquarters of the MNCs will be located in the home country. Okay, it will be registered in the home country. Next, a multinational corporation is known by various names such as global enterprise, international enterprise, world enterprise, and transnational corporation. So it has different, it can also be called, multinational corporations can be also called as a global enterprise, international enterprise, world enterprise, or transnational corporations. Now, definitions of MNC. A multinational corporation owns and manages business in two or more countries. Neil H. Jacobi. MNC is defined to be an enterprise operating in several countries but managed from one country. Okay, it is operated in different countries. The production is carried on and it carries on the regular business in different countries, but it is managed from one country. Now we'll see the advantages and disadvantages of multinational corporation. First one is low cost labor. Now, MNC set up their facilities in low cost countries. Okay, so wherever the labor is cheap, available at a cheaper rate, in those countries, the MNC will start their business. Okay, say for example, if Philips company is to pay 30,000 per month for the labor in Netherlands, whereas for the same job, if they do it in our country, they have to pay only 10,000. So that difference, they earn more profit. So where the labor is less, where the raw materials is in abundant supply, in that countries, the MNC will start their business, and thus it reduces the cost. Okay. Now see here, MNCs set up their facilities in low-cost countries and produce the goods and services at lower cost. It gains the cost advantage and sells its products and service of good quality at low cost. So what happens? They are able to provide good quality of goods at the lower cost. This is not available to the smaller companies which operates in regional level. Next, quality products. The resource, experience and expertise of MNCs in the sphere of research and development enables the host countries to establish its research and development system, which helps in producing quality goods and service at least possible cost. So this MNC companies, okay, in the example which I told you, if you take Philips, the company has a high reputation. It has a better resources in Netherlands, the experience, the research and development, the expert. Now, all these benefits is utilized by the host countries also. Okay, and they also conduct research and development programs, and it enhances the quality of the products, and they are able to supply the goods and service at the lower cost. Next, proper use of idle resources. Idle means something which is kept unused. Okay. Now, say for example, in India there are so many unemployed people. Okay. And if a company, foreign company comes and starts a business in India, it provides employment opportunities to so many people. So the idle resources is utilized, and not only the human resources but various other resources like physical resources, the raw materials, the other materials, all the idle resources are utilized when a MNC starts a business in the host country, and in turn it also increases the national income of the economy in the host country. Now see here, because of their advanced technical knowledge, MNCs are in the position to properly utilize the idle physical and human resources of the host country. This results in an increase in the national income of the host country. Next, improvement in balance of payment position. Now, balance of payment position means imports and exports. Imports is equal to the exports. Okay. Now, when an MNC company starts a business in our country, what happens? We are able to export more. We start producing the goods of foreign companies, and we are able to increase the exports. So the balance of payment position is also increased. That means what? The export is increased. Now, MNC helps the host countries to increase their exports. As such, they help the host countries to improve upon the balance of payment position. Next is technical development. Now, we adopt the foreign technologies, foreign techniques of producing, the foreign machinery, foreign equipments, everything is adopted. So, what happens? We are adhering to the foreign technological development, and from one country to another, the technology development is it is transferred. Okay. MNC carries the advantage of technical development to the host countries. In fact, MNCs are a vehicle for transference of technical development from one country to another. Because of the MNCs, poor host countries also begin to develop technically. So what happens in terms of technology also, the host country develops. Okay, next, managerial development. So whatever techniques the foreign countries follow with regard to the management, it is adopted in the host countries also. Okay, so MNC employs the latest management techniques. People employed by MNCs do a lot of research in management. In a way, they help to professionalize the management along latest lines of management theory and practice. This leads to managerial development in the host countries. Next one, end of local monopolies. Now, local monopolies means single seller captures the entire market and there is no competition at all. Okay, so now when this MNC comes to the host countries to start a business, the competition also increases. The local monopolies of the host countries starts eradicating. Okay, it starts improving their products and reduces the price. So the companies in the in the host countries also, they try to improve their products and they start improving the quality and also reduce the price of the product. Now, thus, MNCs put an end to exploitative trade practices of local monopolistic. Means what? Local monopoly means single sellers, they capture the entire market and there is no competition, and this is removed. The competition starts developing when foreign company enters into our country. As a matter of fact, MNC compels domestic companies to improve their efficiency and quality. So what happens finally? The domestic companies also, they start improving their quality of the product and also the efficiency, and that is why so many companies, they start acquiring the ISO certification for their products. Okay, ISO certification, ISO 9000 quality certificates, due to the fear of competition posed by the MNC. Next one is improvement in standard of living. Now, the multinational companies, they provide better quality of products to the customers and the service provided is also very good, and thus it improves the standard of living of the people in the economy in the host country. Next, promotional of international brotherhood and culture. When foreign companies starts the business in our country, we adapt to their culture, the technology, the managerial skills, whatever they are adopting, they are utilizing the same thing we try to adopt in our country also. Okay, so that is promotion of international brotherhood and culture. MNC integrates the economies of various nations with the world economy. Through their international dealings, MNC promotes international brotherhood and culture and pave way for world peace and prosperity. Next is the disadvantages. First one is the danger for domestic industries. Now, this MNC, multinational company, they have so much of fun to invest in the host countries, and when they start the business in the host country, the domestic in the domestic country, the same line of business, they find it difficult to compete with this multinational companies, and they are forced to wind up. So many companies, they are forced to close the business. MNC, because of their vast economic powers, pose a danger to the domestic industry, which are still in the process of development. Domestic industries cannot face challenges posed by the MNCs. Many domestic industries have to wind up as a result of the threat from MNCs. Thus, MNC gives a setback to the economic growth of the host country. Next is transfer of outdated technology. So the technology which is outdated in their country, which they transfer those type of techniques to our country, then it does not serve any purpose. Next is no benefit to the poor people. Most of the MNC multinational company, they produce high quality goods, and the cost is also very high, which is used by the rich people. So the poor peoples are not benefited by this MNCs. Okay. MNC produce only those things which are used by the rich. Therefore, poor peoples of the host countries do not get generally any benefits out of the multinational companies. Next, danger of independence. Now, when the multinational companies, they start the business in the host country, initially at the initial stage, they help the government and they abide to all the rules and regulations of the government, okay, because they want to start the business in the host country. And slowly they start interfering in the political affairs of the host country, and thus the independence of the host country is lost. Okay. Next one is deprivation of job opportunities to the local people. Now, when the MNC starts the business in the host country, the job opportunities, they prefer to appoint their own staffs, and the job opportunity is not given to the local people. In that area, the job opportunity is not provided. Misuse of mighty status. Now, multinational companies, they have so much of economic power. They have so much of fund to invest and capture the market. So, even if they they know that they will surely incur a loss for 2 or 3 years, even then they are ready to invest huge amount in the business, and slowly they capture the market, and they are sure that in future they will have no competitors, and slowly the other business will close down. So it is like a cheap political game. So MNCs are powerful economic entities. They can afford to bear the losses for a long while, in the hope of earning huge profit once they have ended the local competition and achieved monopoly. This may be a dirty marketing strategy of MNCs to wipe off the local competitors from the host country. Next is careless exploitation of natural resources. So when they start the multinational corporations start the business in the host countries, they don't use the natural resources properly. Okay, they don't take it seriously, and thus it causes so much of damages to the natural resources of the host country. Selfish promotion of alien culture. Now MNC, they tend to promote their culture in the host countries in order to sell their products. Say for example, in case of this fast food chat items, pizza, all that, we peoples in India, we don't prefer those type of food items, but still they start the business in our country, and they try to promote their product, and we are forced to we are also attracted by the advertisements, and we also buy and eat those foods, but still it is very harmful for the health. Next one is neglect of industrial and economic growth of the home country. So this multinational company, No, the place where the company is registered is known as the home country. Now, they are more focused on starting and promoting the business in the host country, and they don't focus on their own home countries for the economic growth or the industrial growth. Say, for example, in the case I told you, the example of Philips, it is in Netherlands, Amsterdam. Okay, they don't focus on the development of the product in the home countries, but the focus will be on promoting the sales and development in the host countries. Now, some examples of multinational companies are given in your textbook. Indian subsidiary companies of foreign multinational companies. Okay, just go through the example. They might ask in 1 mark question. Bata Corporations, Colgate, Palmolive, Sony Corporation, Suzuki and Timex. And Indian multinational companies. The Indian company which has a multinational business in various other countries. Okay, Micromax, Informatics, Hero, Motocorp, Bajaj, Britannia, TVS, Tata, Infosys, Wipro, all that. Okay. Go through this lesson fully. Okay. So you might, only one question is there for 5 marks. Advantages and disadvantages of multinational corporation. Very important question for 5 marks. And all the remaining questions are 2 marks and 3 marks. Whatever is given in your textbook, those questions learn and write in your classwork note. Okay. And short answer question, I want you to write these 2 questions as a 5 mark question. 5 points each. 5 points for advantages and 5 points for disadvantages. Okay.